All right, this pattern is a great midge emerger, but it also can pass as an adult, so it's a good transitional pattern. I'm going to start with my thread. It's some Vivas 16-aught in black, and I dress that starting just before the eye and then all the way down to where I'm going to tie in my quill. So the body here is going to be some Vineyard's stripped peacock quill. And what you do is you look at the quill and you'll see a side that's got a darker strip of black on it. I want that side up and facing down. And so what I'll do is I'll tie this in right there like that. Normally I'll tie in materials and have them go the whole length of the body for a better taper, but this quill I like to conserve, so I tie that in and just get as much material out of it as I can. But I'm going to just wrap the body back up, and you want to create a smooth body. And what I'll do is right before I get to the thorax area, I'm going to make a little bit of taper. So I'll take a few turns up and back, and it will just create a gradual taper before it gets up into the thorax and wing area. All right, once I've got that body built up like that, so I grab my peacock quill. I'll do the first wrap there, and then I'm just going to grab that with my hackle pliers, keeping it horizontal, and just wrap with slightly touching turns. I like to leave a little bit of black in between each one. Gives a better segmentation. I'm going to go up into the thorax area with this, like so. Tie that off. Now if you hold on to it tight, you should be able to just break that off. Make sure you hold your thread tight though. If you don't hold your thread tight, it will yank it through and this whole thing will come off. Once I get to that point, I need to reinforce the body. This quill isn't the most durable. It's better than a lot, this Vineyard stuff. So I'm just going to hit it with some Clear Goo Hydro. Now once you've built that up, I'm going to go ahead and zap it with the light. So now as you can see, the body is going to be hanging. It's curved. This part's going to sit on the surface. So fairly simple. We're just going to grab some Evisote foam, and I cut a piece that's about the hook gap, like so. And then I want this to be placed right in between the eye of the hook and then kind of that thorax area. And I'm just going to tie this in right on top of that. Give it a few wraps. Now I'm not going to clip anything just yet. Next thing I'll do is grab some medallion sheeting, and I want a piece that again is about as wide as the hook gap and about as long as the body from the hook point to the bend, like that. And I take that and I just notch the middle with my thumbnail and twist. And then where that is creased and the little bow tie it creates, I'm going to put that going this way right now, so it's still parallel with the hook shank, just so I can get the center. Then once I've got that semi-secured, I turn that sideways. And then we're going to come in here with a couple of figure 8 wraps. So we're like that, and I usually like to tug that down. That seats it down into that foam. Makes it so it won't turn on us. Now if you're going to tie these in larger sizes, a lot of times I'll hit it with some super glue underneath. And now I move into just at the eye of the hook and pull my foam back and whip finish. Alright, once I've done that, it's time to trim. I come in here with the back piece, pull it up, And I trim that pretty tight. Like that. Okay, now the front is really what's going to float this, so we'll leave that one bigger. And then I trim that a little bit. And then as a final thing, I like to give the wings, you can either trim them or singe them. And so what I'll do a little of both just to show you. So I go ahead and just trim off some of the sharp corners on this set of wings. And then just as a final touch, I'm going to take my bodkin and heat it up. And then just very gently come around these wings and singe the edges. And I give it a little more buggy, kind of natural look, like those wings are trapped. And so what that would imitate is either an adult on the water with wings askew, or as it's just a bunch of bugginess trying to escape from its pupa shock. And that's it. It's a very good midge emerger, but also great for when the adults are out.